The explanation of the expansions of the PTP approach are first is the PTS, the second is the PTL, and the third is the combination of both PTSL. Good. PTS means position, transition, sequence. So we have the combinations of transitions and positions. And after every position, a transition is following, and after every transition, a position comes in again. So we have a bit of a tensed up part, and we have a relaxing part. Tensed up part, relaxing part. So we switch off and on the tension and relaxation, as well as we have a lot of variability now that can be put into a little sequence, as well as we have the possibility to work on specific joints, specific conditional factors like mobility, stability, and pattern in a more varied way of movements. Yeah. So a PTP could be, for example, a PTS could be, I'm starting in a side bend sit, I'm adding the first transition into a split kneeling. I'm in the next position, split kneeling position. I'm adding one body weight shift and hip hinge movement into the tall half kneeling. And I move backwards. Position, transition, position. So we have 3 positions, 2 transitions in it. That's a PTS. The same sequence can be done with 1 additional position and 1 additional transition. Yeah, so I have the hip hinge into split kneeling. I've had a body weight shift into tall kneeling. I have a position, tall kneeling. I have a transition, it's a hip hinge movement into this position. So I added this position into the former sequence. That's the possibility to train more of stability. If I go over this, I need much more hip stability here. If someone is not able to balance this whole movement out, you just add in 1 position. So you just let this person move until here, stop it, and then add on the last little part. Okay, so relaxation, tension, relaxation, tension, relaxation, tension, relaxation. Okay, the same sequence can be done now with the PTP variations. Isolated, 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 connected, fluid, reaching. In between, so reaching here, reaching here, reaching here, reaching here. Okay, so this is an example of a PTS, and you can find this in a get-up as a PTS, or just something like whatever a ground floor choreography can be or is a PTS actually. Okay, then let's go to the PTL. It's position and locomotion. So you can use just the sitting dimension for crawling in 1 foot-hand crawling pattern, or you can use different sitting positions and different crawling patterns. So I just show you 2 possibilities. One is sitting into crawling, into sitting, so you could go back into side bend sit, or when you crawl forward, you could come forward in a side bend sit. Okay, so we just switch between positions and transitions. So, yeah, for example, I would need to keep going with a foot-hand crawl. So if this would be the limit of my space, yeah, I would have to switch the direction like this. Yeah. So I made a different transition just to switch into the direction. Different transition, different conditional factors. Okay, different crawling patterns with different positions would be sideband sit into inverted crawl into kneeling, kneeling into foot hand crawl, into lying, into push pull crawl, into sideband sit, into high hip crawl, into flex foot kneeling. Yeah? An example of indefinite possibilities of a PTL. Okay, and the last possibility is a PTLS. That means we are combining positions and transitions and sitting positions, kneeling positions, and locomotions all together. Yeah? So it would look like sideband sit into tall half kneeling, into crawling, into tripod transition, into sitting, for example, into inverted crawl, into squat, into foot hand crawl, which can also be done sideways, into long band sit, into split kneeling, into foot hand crawl again, and so on. Okay. You could do, again, the PTP variations, but in the end, PTP variations are great for getting to know new positions and transitions, but if you have already experienced them, you know everything is fine, executing them, then you can expand fluid movement into the positions you already know, add them together and build something like this, and keep the isolation in the work on specific parts and specific conditions on the PTP limited space.